Awesome. Okay. So, thanks for joining me. If you're just tuning in, hello, welcome. I am going to be going through slow flow today. So if you have 2 blocks and a strap, that would be great. If you don't have 2 blocks, you can grab a pillow. We're going to start in a supported heart opener. And if you don't have a strap, you can grab a towel or something like that. And we'll get started. So go ahead and make your way. I'll show you how to get set up in your supported heart opener. So I have my block set up like an equal sign. I'm just going to lay down, put my hips on the floor, my glutes on the ground. I'm going to take my block, the first one underneath my shoulder blades, and then the other one's going to go underneath my head. And if you're using a pillow instead, just have your pillow long ways, up and down, underneath your back. And then you can have your arms wide, your palms facing up. Extend your legs long, or you can have your feet together and your knees wide. And we'll just be here for a couple minutes, so if it doesn't feel comfortable, you can lie flat on your back instead. But when you're ready, close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Enjoy a few more breaths just like that. A little heavier in your back body. Notice where you end and your props begin. Let it go. Simply start to breathe a little bit deeper. Remember, the more you exhale, the more space you create for your inhale. Find that slight engagement in the back of your throat. Activate your Ujjayi breaths. Setting that rhythm to your breath. Synchronize the ocean sound. And on your next round, take a long stretch. In breath, extend arms overhead, toes down below. Good, and then we'll just roll off the blocks and rest on one side for a few breaths. You can bend your knees. Take your head down onto your arm and let it be a pillow. And breathe into your back body. I invite you to set an intention while you're here. Whatever inspired you to roll out your mat today. Choose your intention. Breathe it in deep down. Exhale, let it out. And then you can roll over and just move your blocks aside, but then stay on your back. So You can lie on your back this time with the knees drawn in, and then just rock side to side, or you can draw circles with your knees, whatever feels best. Now we'll do a little bit of dynamic movement to reset the spine. So let your arms come down by your sides, and then place your feet on the floor with your knees bent. Exhale everything out. Now on your in-breath, simply lift your hips up off the floor like bridge pose. Exhale as you slowly bring your hips back down onto your mat. On your in-breath, lift your arms up over your head like you're riding a roller coaster, and then extend your heels up to the sky, pike. Exhale, hug your knees into your chest. Place your hands on your shins and lift your head off the ground, nose between the knees. Breathe everything out. And then reversing that, arms go overhead, feet towards the ceiling. Exhale, feet to the mat, arms by your sides. Bridge pose. On the in-breath, lift your hips, breathe in. Exhale, bring your hips back down. Go slow, like a count of 4 or so. Inhale, heels up, hands up, ride that roller coaster. Knees to chest, wrap your arms around your shins, lift up your head. Inhale, re-extend, arms overhead, feet towards the sky. Exhale, bend your knees, arms down by your sides. Inhale, lift your hips. Exhale, reset your hips. Inhale, heels high, arms overhead. Exhale, curl in, knees to chest. Inhale, re-extend, arms to the sky, heels overhead. Exhale, feet to the floor, arms by your sides. One more round. Inhale, lift your hips up off the ground. Exhale, bring your hips back to the mat. Heels up, hands up. Inhale. Exhale, knees to chest. Inhale, bring the arms back up overhead again. This time, arms stay overhead. Just bring your feet to the floor and let your feet land a little bit wider than before. Swivel your knees to the right. Exhale. Inhale, tilt your knees back up towards center, and then knees to the left on the breath out. Go side to side 2 more times. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale through center. As your knees tilt to the left, try to touch the floor with your right knee, the inner thigh. Inhale, coming through center. 1 more round. Exhaling to the right. Last one. Breathe in. Now as your knees tilt to the left, keep them there. Option to rest your left ankle on your right thigh to gently guide your right knee towards the floor. Lengthen your tailbone towards that right knee as well. And then reach a little longer through your right arm, or grab onto that right wrist and pull the arm up overhead. 2 more breaths into your right psoas. Awesome. Then uncross the left ankle, tilt your knees back up towards the right. Right ankle over the left thigh. Hold on to that left wrist. Reach long from your left knee to your left arm. Feel that lengthen your tailbone. Elongate the front side of your waist. Breathing into that left hip crease, the psoas. Awesome. Uncross the right ankle, draw the knees back up towards center, and then come into a happy baby. Try to keep your sacrum on the ground as you hold onto your inner thighs or your inner feet. Gently pull down on your heels as if your knees can touch the ground right outside your ribs. Close your eyes, feel your head push into the mat. Drape the shoulder blades down the back, and then elongate the spine all the way to the tail. 1 more. Exhale. Cool. Now we'll bring the knees in for a moment. And then you can grab that strap of yours, take your right foot into the strap, and extend your right leg towards the sky. That left foot can land on the floor with your knee bent. Now we're just going to lift the hips for a moment, just an inch or so, and then see if you can straighten your right leg a little more. Turn on the quad, the hamstring, and then keeping your right leg toned, lower your hips down onto the floor. Now keep the shoulder blades on the ground and ground the elbows as well. Slide your hands down. Feel your sacrum root into the mat, but there's a little arch underneath your lower back. Now for a little more intensity, lengthen your left heel forward. And if you don't need your strap, you can hold on to the right foot. But if it's challenging, your knee starts to bend, or that lower back arch goes away, back it up a step. Feel the spine symmetrical on the floor, the shoulder blades symmetrical, the glutes, the sacrum. Take one more deep breath. Okay, and then holding onto the strap or the leg with your right hand, take your left hand to your left hip bone and let your right leg open towards the right. Try to press out with your right big toe so the whole inner line of your leg gets longer. Your right sitting bone is reaching for your left heel. And if your left knee was bent before, you can straighten it out now. And then turn on that left quad really strong. Awesome. Now go slow as you bring your leg back up through center. Hold onto the strap with your left hand. Take your right hand to your right thumb to your right hip crease and draw that right hip crease down. Notice how your right toes start to turn open towards 2 o'clock. Keep that external rotation and then drift your right leg to the left, but only a couple inches. As if your right heel can float directly above your left hip bone, that ASIS. As you push down on that right hip crease, breathe into the outer right thigh, the IT band. Strong through the quad, pressing out through the big toe side. One more breath. Awesome. And then continue to tilt your right leg over to the left. We'll come into a twist. Now you can ditch the strap if you want. Hold on to your thigh instead. The right arm's going to open up to the right. Turn your chin to the right as well. Exhale. Cool. Come back through center. Breathe in. And you can hold onto the strap with both hands and then step your left foot up into the strap. Bend the right knee, put your right foot on the floor. With your right knee bent, we'll do that little trick. Lift your hips off the ground, and then you can straighten your left leg a little more. Turn on that quad, that hamstring, and then hold on to the strap. Lower your hips back down onto the mat. Feel the sacrum root and that little tunnel across your lower back. Shoulder blades symmetrical, and then maybe the right leg extends. Give your biceps a break. Let your elbows land on the floor. Or hold on to the foot. If you don't have a strap, you can also interlace your hands behind your left thigh. Close your eyes. Exhale. Three more rounds. Two. Keep that low arch in your low back. One more breath. Now holding onto your left foot or strap with your left hand, open your leg to the left. The right hand can weigh down your right hip. Now you can straighten out your right leg if it was bent. And speaking as someone who has pretty open hips, just know that it is impossible for your left leg to land on the ground while keeping that right hip grounded. So honor the favor of the hips, yeah? Feel them symmetrical. Whatever happens in the leg happens. Now press out through the big toe of your left leg. Feel the inner line of your leg get longer. Breathe into the adductor. Scooping the left sitting bone down. One more round. Awesome. Bring your leg back up through center. Hold onto the strap with your right hand. Take your left thumb into your left hip crease and push that left hip crease down. The left toes will turn towards the left like 10 o'clock. And then your left heel will drift to the right a few inches so it's floating directly above your right hip. Nothing changes in your back body. Shoulder blades symmetrical, sacrum grounds. Press out through the big toe of your left foot. One more round. Awesome. Then the left leg drifts over to the right. Come into your twist. Remember, you can ditch the strap if you wish, holding on to the thigh, or you can hold on to the outer edge of the foot. Just take your left arm wide to the left and turn your chin to the left. Last breath. Cool. Now you can come back to center with or without the strap. We'll just curl the knees in when we get there, moving that strap aside. And then hold on to the back of your thighs. You can rock forward and back or roll over to one side. I'll meet you in a tabletop. Take your time. With wrists beneath shoulders, knees beneath hips, take a few rounds of cat-cow. Breathing into the cow shape, lift your chin, sway your belly down. Breathe out to the cat shape, round. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. 1 more of those. Inhale. Exhale. Now we'll bring the knees to touch. Keep the wrists stacked beneath the shoulders. Lengthen your right leg back in line with your hip. Now exhale, bring the right knee to the nose. Do that again. Inhale, press back through your right tippy toes. Exhale, knee to nose. 1 more. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, curl it in. Now lengthen your right leg back behind you. Hold it there. Option to lengthen your left arm out in front of you. So opposite arm as leg. Take 3 good breaths. Focus on the grounding of the index finger knuckle of your right hand. Awesome. Now we'll let the right toes land on the ground behind you, but keep your legs straight, and then lift your left arm up into a twist. Push the ground away with that right hand. Move the floor to the right. And then exhale, weave your left arm underneath your right arm, thread the needle. You can walk your right arm forward, or wrap your right arm across your low back. Just think about all the length you can create on that right side of your body. Okay. Walk your right hand back in. Unwrap your left hand to the twist. Lift it high, inhaling. And then we'll come back into that tabletop. Lower the hands and knees, round the spine, cat pose. Other side. Lengthen your left toes, look up. Exhale, touch your nose. Inhale, press it back, look up. Exhale, curl it in. 1 more of those. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, make contact. Here's where we lengthen and hold. Stretch the right arm forward if you did that before. Grounding into the left index finger knuckle to protect your wrists. Steady the breath. 1 more round. Good. Keep your left leg straight. Tuck your left toes down on the ground. Right arm high for your twist. Good. Weave right arm under left for your thread the needle. Stretch your left arm long overhead, or wrap it across your low back. Awesome. Retract your left palm, unwrap your right high into the sky. Returning to that tabletop, breathe out, round your spine, cat pose. And then coming into the cow, sway your belly down. Now keep that back bend, claw your palms forward for extended puppy pose. We started with a heart opener, so let your heart melt into the mat. Break open any walls. Press down with your knees, widen through your sitting bones. 1 more, good round. Good, and then slide forward onto your tummy for Sphinx pose. Keep your forearms on the ground, just walk your elbows in so they're underneath your shoulders. Shrug your shoulders back, try to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Good, and then pressing into the tops of your feet, squeeze your knees. Elongate your tailbone. Feel your lower back get longer, and then maybe you lift your elbows. Keep pulling the floor back, broaden through your collarbones. Press down with the tops of your feet, smear them into the ground. Take 1 more breath in. Awesome. Exhale, slowly slide your tummy down, and then we'll take those fingertips wide like spiders off the edges of your mat with the elbows high, spider cobra. So we'll lift the heart back up. This is more for the neck and shoulders. So as you bring your right ear to the ground, take your right shoulder forward and towards the floor. And then inhale as you rise back up, pressing into your fingertips, lift your shoulders back. Exhale, left shoulder forward, left ear towards the mat. Let's go side to side 2 more times. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, right shoulder forward, right ear towards the floor. Inhale, lift your heart, look up. Exhale, left shoulder forward, tap the mat. 1 more like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, look to the left. Inhale, rise. Exhale, look to the right. Awesome. Lift your heart up 1 last time. Exhale, lower down. Slide your hands in underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Light up your kneecaps. Take a breath in. Exhale for high plank or modified plank. Take a deep breath. Downward dog. Exhale, lift your hips. Now in your downward dog, it's okay to have bent knees. Just notice if your legs look parallel to you. Your heels are descending straight down from your hips. Relax your calves. From your heart, press into the hands a little bit more. Awesome. Now we'll bring the feet together. And I want you to take 5 counts to lift your right foot off the ground. Ready? Inhale, right leg high for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Step your right foot forward and lower your left knee to the floor, coming into a low lunge. Now we'll keep the hands down. I invite you to add a wrist stretch. You can take the back of your hands to the floor or to your blocks. Untuck your left toes. Those toenails are also on the floor. Now you can take that right hand to the back of your head, give yourself a massage, or just pull your chin toward your chest. And if you want a little more stretch, press into the top of your left foot and lift your left kneecap. Feel your right heel, scrub the floor, pull the floor down and back. Now you can lower that back knee. Take your right hand up onto your thigh and lift your left arm up into the sky. Move your hips back just for a moment. Feel that length in the tail, the lift in the low belly. And if you feel like you're dumping into the hips, something that's nice to do here is grabbing a block. You can put it underneath your right sitting bone or in the front of your left thigh. But find some stability in your lunge. And then we'll take that left hand to the upper back. Hold on to your left elbow with your right hand. Give your left arm a tricep stretch. So you slide the elbow behind your head. And then you could stay like this or start to lean to the right with your upper half. We stretched the psoas earlier, but this is going to be a little bit more intense. Give it 2 more breaths. Lovely. Inhale, re-extend your arms overhead. Exhale, let your hands land on your blocks or the ground, and then we'll shift the hips back. Come into half splits. Lengthen your right leg, press forward with your tippy toes. Keep a little bend in your knee. Broaden through your sitting bones, and then fold in. Two more breaths. Whew. Okay, now lengthen through your arms. Turn your right toes open towards the right, so 3 o'clock. Externally rotating the right leg. Walk your hands over to the right side of your right leg. You can swivel your left toes to the left off your mat. Just try to ground the outer edge of your right foot. Pull the floor back. And then maybe you walk your hands out on the diagonal, bringing your left cheekbone towards your right shin in this IT stretch. Awesome. Now go ahead and rise back up. Keep that external rotation of your right leg. Just walk your hands around to the inside of your right leg now. Then we're going to bend the right knee, shift the weight forward, and heel toe your right foot a little wider to the side. And the hands can stay on the blocks here on your lizard lunge, or you could take the elbows to the blocks, or perhaps all the way to the mat. Now, eventually I will add a quad stretch, so just find your depth first. Then, right hand will reach back for the left foot. Now, if your left foot is hard to find, you can lift your left elbow off the ground or put a block underneath your left hand to give you a little more height. If you can grab your heel easily, try to move your hips backwards to meet your heel, and then keep that seal as you rebend into that front knee. Roll your shoulders back, lift through your heart. Awesome. Now take your palms to the mat, tuck your left toes under. Find a three-legged dog with your right leg high and your right knee bent. Open up your hips. Draw a knee circle, a hip circle. Optional wild thing if you wish, keeping that left hand on the floor. Spiral your right toes all the way around to touch the ground behind you. Left shoulder spirals down your back. Reach through your fingertips. 3 more breaths. 2, 1. Awesome. Push off your right leg. Settle in your downward facing dog. Exhale to get there. Now we'll take 5 counts to lift the left leg. Breathe everything out. Left leg high for 5. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Exhale, big step through. Lower the right knee down, head down, hands down, Anjaneyasana. Untuck your right toes, push down with the top of your right foot. And then you can take the right fingernails to the floor as well, fingertips pointing backwards towards your knees. And then that left hand can give you a little neck massage or gently draw the chin towards the chest. For more stretch, press into the top of your right foot, lift your right knee, turn on that quadricep. Pull the floor back with that left heel and breathe. Awesome. Lower the back knee. Take your left hand onto your left thigh, and then the right arm comes up towards the sky. Here's where you can support your hips with your block. If you liked that on the other side, I'm going to put one on the front of my right thigh. Just like a kickstand. And then I could take the tricep stretch, right hand to the upper back. Guide your right elbow behind your head, breathe in. And then lean to the left. Keep pushing down with the top of that right foot. Drive that right hip bone forward into the block or into space. And then from there, lift the right elbow up and over a little more. Awesome. Lower the back knee if it's lifted. The hands to the floor. Shift your hips back, coming into your half split. 5 breaths. Go easy on yourself. Just exhale. Sweet. IT love when you're ready. Walk your hands up. Tilt your left toes open towards 9 o'clock. You don't have to walk your hands to the left if you feel plenty of stretch there. But if not, you can walk the hands to the left, swivel those right toes open, or walk your hands out on the diagonal. So your right cheek can get closer to your left shin. Make your way back up, but keep your toes turned open. Walk your hands to the inside of the left leg, and then forward to the inside of the left foot. You can widen your stance here, pivoting on the ball mount of your left foot, widen the heel. The hands to blocks, or elbows to blocks, or ditch the blocks. quad stretch when you're ready. Left hand reaches back for your right foot. And then you can move your hips back to meet your heel. Keep your right knee sealed, and then move your hips forward with that seal. Yeah, then lift the front of the waistband. Peel your shoulders back. Let the foot go. Walk your hands up underneath your shoulders. Tuck under the right toes. Left thigh high, three-legged dog with a bent left knee. Open up the hips. Ankle circle or knee circle. Or a wild thing if you wish. Keep the right hand rooted. Spiral the left toes to the ground. Turn your heart up. When you're ready, flip yourself back around. Both feet on the floor, downward facing dog. And we'll just walk the feet forward and walk the hands back so you end up towards the middle of your mat. Stand on the hands with a little bend in your knees. Slide your hands facing up underneath the soles of your feet. And do your best to lengthen your legs, your arms, your spine. Breathe in. Exhale, let the elbows bend side to side. Gently draw your belly towards your thighs, forehead towards your shins. Be brave. Lean your hips forward. Find that tipping point where you might accidentally fall. And then turn on the quads. Use your toes. Scrub the heels down and out. One more breath. Gratitude for these hands. What would you do without them? And then we'll go and slide the hands out from under the feet. We'll just come into a toe squat. So let the feet come together. You can elevate the heels, bend the knees. Just think about stretching the arches of your feet. So the heels stay nice and high. You could tuck your nose between your knees. Cool, then unlock the chin. Let your knees travel forward and towards the floor. We'll untuck the toes from there. And then you could keep your hands by your sides on the mat or the blocks, but we're gonna lift the shins up and stretch the tops of the feet. Now your shins might not lift as high as mine. You might just lift a little bit. That's okay. Just think about stretching the tops of your feet. Maybe get all the way to the shins. If you're a dancer like me and your feet have lost feeling, then you can try lengthening through your legs all the way onto the tippy toes. Whew. All right, now give this a try. Can you keep your weight in your hands and just flick your feet out in front of you and have a seat? Yes, you can. All right. Now we'll just take the feet together in the knees wide, Baddha Konasana. But first, give your feet a massage. We stretch the ball mounds, the arches, the top sides, so just get a little deeper inside. This sequence is something I like to do after going on a long hike or if I'm traveling, which I'm actually doing tomorrow. So next time you see me live stream, you'll be in a different scene. Stay tuned. But if you like this sequence, I invite you to do it after your adventures. Now open up your feet like a book. Lift your chest, sit up tall. Bring your heart into your soles. Exhale. Cool. Come back up. Breathe in. Take your hands outside your knees. Draw your knees together. Hold on to the back of your thighs and then hover your feet off the floor so your shins are parallel. Do a shoulder shrug. Puff up your chest. Feel your lower back lift up. Now take the hands behind the head with the elbows wide. Breathe in. Turn your chest to the left. See if you can take your right elbow to your left knee. Awesome. Come back to center. Inhale. Turn your chest to the right. Left elbow to the right knee. Inhale back to center. Now do it again. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Breathe in. Breathe out to the left. Inhale, center. To the right. Now stay with it. Inhale through center. As you twist to the left, think about straightening your right leg. Inhale, come back to center. Turn your chest to the right, lengthen your left leg. Inhale through center. Try that again. Right elbow touches the left knee, and then you lengthen your right leg. Inhale through center. Left elbow touches the right knee, lengthen your left leg. Last time. Inhale through center. Exhale, twisting to the left, straighten the right leg. Inhale through center. Twisting to the right, lengthen the left leg. Awesome. Hold on to the back of your thighs. Take a breath in. If you have a block with you, slide it back with you, and we'll lie down on the ground. You can keep your feet on the floor with your knees bent. We're going to take a supported back bend just to release those hip flexors. Lift your hips up off the mat and then take that block beneath you. You can also put a pillow underneath your hips, or you can just lie flat with your legs long or hold your hips up in space. However high you want to make your hips, whatever helps you open up your hip creases. Some other options you can explore. You can extend your legs forward. Open up the hips a little more. A little more intensity. If you draw right knee into chest, that'll just make the left hip stretch. Even more if you want to make that left heel come back by your block, so a quad stretch kind of style. As long as you're breathing. A few more breaths here if you want to try straightening out that right leg similar to how we did in the beginning, like a hamstring stretch. Cool, and if you're doing what I'm doing, we'll switch it up. So keep that right knee in, unweave the left, and then keep that left knee in. The right hand can grab the top of the right foot or the shin, and then you guide that top of your right foot towards the floor. Try to keep the knee narrow forward and down. And then the left knee draws into chest. Maybe you lengthen through the left leg. Cool. Now, having the knees drawn into the chest, you can choose to stay resting on your block here with the legs up in a supported shoulder stand, or bring your legs all the way up and over your head into plow pose, and then you could ditch the block when you get there. Now, plow pose, try to keep the legs straight, turn on the quads, drive your heels towards the floor, lift your chin off your chest. Walk the hips up over the ribs, over the shoulders. And then just a few breaths with the knees bent by your ears. Curl in a little more. And then go slow as you make your way down. If you're in plow pose, you can slide your hands along your sides or hold onto the mat. If you have your hips on a block, you can bend your knees to the floor and then lift your hips off the block. Move the block aside and then lower your back down. Then we'll stretch the legs forward and towards the ground. Let the arms come up overhead like you're waking up for the first time today. And if there's anything else your body needs, just take a moment to answer whatever request is coming up. And when you're ready to settle in, find your Savasana, your corpse pose. Once you find your comfortable position, settle in with a few deep breaths, inhaling through the nose. Out of the mouth, let it go. Twice more. Notice where you end and the floor begins. Give those places permission to get heavier. Mind. You are not a victim of your thoughts. Instead, you can choose what to think about. Think about your breath. Let it help you remain present. Stay in this sweet sanctuary for as long as you like. When you're ready to reawaken, begin to deepen your breaths. Follow that thread of breath as it comes and goes, savoring every sip with gratitude that you are alive today, that you are healthy and capable of breathing. The more oxygen you drink in, the more your toes and fingers start to reawaken. Spin the chin side to side. Run your tongue across the top row of your teeth. Eventually lengthening arms overhead again. Roll onto the side body, rest. Recall the intention you might have set when you were in this shape last. And slowly rise, come onto your seat, hands together in front of the heart. Bow inwards toward yourself. Take one more deep breath. Exhale. The light in me honors the divine light within you. Thank you for sharing this journey with me. Again, my name is Aria Leon. Namaste. Have a lovely rest of your day. Mwah. See you soon.